Jess, what you got in juice?
All right, so Will Smith. I know you're probably sick about
God, are we still talking about Will Smith?
We know that he slapped Chris Rock at the 94th Annual Academy Awards, while his talent agency reportedly thought about letting him go. According to Page Six, a leadership retreat, in his, which is Smith's agency, Creative Artist Agency, the CAA, became a site of a debate after all this happened and whether or not they were going to, keep him as a client. Apparently, the CAA is in the process of acquiring ICM, which is the agency that represents Chris Rock. So the company was at a crossroads. However, Richard Lovett, who represents Smith, did not want to lose the King Richard star. Lovett even described himself as just being frazzled when the agency was discussing the matter. Meanwhile, now a spokesperson has come out to say that they will not let him go.
I don't look at Will Smith any different than I did before the slap.
Mm-hmm.
Still love him.
Mm-hmm.
He's still one of my faves.
Yeah.
Same thing with Chris Rock.
I know. I wish.
Should he have made the joke? I should be. I had somebody like try to call me out and be like, "Well, you should be the first one to say free speech, and you should be the first one to defend Chris Rock for telling a joke with the work that you do in your business."
I don't think.
But
I personally don't want to do that whole freedom of speech and take that away from him or whatever. I looked at it as like he's a comedian,
right?
And he does jokes.
Right.
Some may get to the line or cross the line sometimes. That's just part of that industry and being a comedian.
Right.
And I did not think the joke was so horrible and bad that it deserved what it has turned into.
Yeah.
At first, everyone was like, ha ha, laughing, G.I. Jane, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden there was a switch up, and then it was a problem. And then what? It's not afterwards. All right. Well,
let me ask you this. Do you, not saying you agree, because I don't think anybody agrees with Will Smith getting up in the middle of a TV broadcast and punch him in the mouth. But do you understand where Will Smith was coming from?
I get it?
He's human, and
yeah, I do.
Would I have done the same thing? I'm just saying. So you try to put yourself in
no, I get it.
In Will Smith's shoes.
I get it as far as him defending his wife.
Like Chadwick. Yeah. If that was Chadwick sitting there, and someone talked about your big head,
and they do.
Yeah, and you were over it. Or you were maybe Will Smith in mental health was going through something, but sometimes people crack. Maybe Jada looked at him, and he has been going through some stuff with Jada,
that was
and he wanted to.
The thing that set him off. I don't know.
Maybe he's fighting to keep Jada. Maybe Jada's not. I saw some meme of Jada had him on a puppet string. And people don't like her. Okay. No matter what, not that I agree with what he did. Again, I understand that people go through things and do and react certain ways. I don't think his career should be over because of it.
Also, I don't know. You've been to comedy shows.
Yeah.
And if you're sitting in the front row or the first couple of rows, forget it. You're going to be the laughing stock of the whole night because the comedian's going to get a hold of you, and that's it.
I know.
It can be on
something
you have on, a shirt, a hat you have on, whatever it is that they're going to clown you on. They use it. So you got to be prepared, too. You got to have thick skin for that kind of stuff.
I'm team Will Smith and team Chris Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think Chris Rock handled it great. I don't think he's a punk for not fighting him back.
I'm surprised with his patience, his composure.
Yeah.
He's live on TV. He kind of cracked a joke after to keep it going and make it not so awkward, even though it was. But
apparently they're good now. So just to me, let's just move on.
I wish I'm able to
tired of hearing about it.
Get a little part of the show where he's going to talk about it. So far, Chris Rock hasn't at any of his shows.
Yeah, his first show, he said, "Well, how was your weekend?"
Yeah,
yeah.
And he hasn't gotten into it yet.
No,
but I'm sure it's going to be a comedy special.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So After attending the 64th annual Grammy Awards together, Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker snuck off. They got married in Las Vegas. The pair was reportedly wed at a Las Vegas chapel at 1:30 a.m. local time on Monday. However, a source exclusively told Page Six that the ceremony was not legally binding. My sources also say that there were several celebrations, to come, and it's not going to be their only wedding. Apparently, the famous couple did not allow the venue to take pictures, but they had their own photographer. They had security there, and it was also reported that Kardashian and Barker requested an Elvis impersonator to officiate the wedding.
An Elvis impersonator.
Yep. Also here with Coachella, they're scrambling to find a replacement for Kanye West. He's supposed to be headlining on Sunday, April the 17th and the 24th for this festival, and TMZ is reporting that organizers, he's pulled from it. They're going to look into Silk Sonic. They're looking at The Weeknd. They're looking at the Red Hot Chili Peppers. They're all top contenders right now. But Kanye pulled out of the tour on Monday, April the 4th, and, with Variety reporting that he was not rehearsing. He has not prepared for the show. And so now they are trying and scrambling to find a replacement. And Tory Lanez appeared in court in Los Angeles on Tuesday for a pre-trial hearing for his felony assault case stemming from the shooting incident that did involve Megan Thee Stallion from last summer. Everybody remembers that, according to XXL magazine. Tory was taken into custody after the judge presiding over the case determined that Tory violated the protective and personal contact order of protection Megan had against him. His bail was now increased from $250,000 to $325,000, and he was released from custody hours after the hearing. But he was taken into custody because he violated that protection order.
Okay.
Wow.
9:30. The Bill and Jessica Show. Got a 47 ABC update coming up on the